can you eat this way? Like there's studies that are done that it really doesn't make a difference. I don't want to really say it, but physiological changes with foods, there really isn't much of a difference. I don't want to say that. My thing is not to change Sam. It would never be to change Sam. It would be to give him the knowledge or piece of something that I've been able to take and that's been able to affect my life in a positive way in my bodybuilding career that would help him. What is up? It's your boy Johnny Shreve, IFBB Promos, or Tell Like It Is. Welcome back to the episode of Straight Talk with Shreve. Today, guys, we're going to review Sam Sulek's full day of eating with Fouad Abiad and Paul Lozon. Hostile Supplements. Go watch it. The full video is on Fouad Abiad Media. But guys, as a coach, I coach bodybuilders, I coach, my majority of my athletes are general pop, and then I have, let's say 10%, 15% are bodybuilders, and obviously being a nutritionist and even competing as myself, guys, I'm going to give you some advice on how you can actually optimize or just avoid some of the mistakes that he's making. And again, this is Sam. What Sam does, Sam is going to learn on his own. For you guys watching and wondering if I can do what Sam's gonna do, I'm gonna say, no, you can't, because you're not Sam. But here's what you can do and do similar things to what Sam's doing. So let's dive right into it.
It's already 10:30. We've been awake since 8. Haven't had anything to eat. I'm starving. Okay, some people aren't concerned with their catabolism, I see. But 1,000 calories in the milk jug. Let's see how many.
So first things first, Sam dives into it. He hasn't eaten since 8 o'clock. Now the guy's doing full-time school, full-time work, young kid, doing awesome, killing it. But biggest mistake people make. Remember this quote: failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Never go to the grocery store hungry. Guys, I'm going to give you some advice from my own personal experience, because I've already watched this video and Sam's doing a lot of things that I have done in the past and some things I still do right now presently. Not while I'm prepping, but like in the off season and whatnot. And I'll show you how to actually optimize those things. But first things first, biggest advice is never go to the grocery store hungry, because you'll end up doing exactly what he's doing. He went and grabbed a full liter of, now remember guys, he's in a bulk. He's purposely trying to get bigger. Everything he's doing is with intention. Now, is it smart and optimal? No. For him? No. But he'll learn. Anyway, do not go to the grocery store hungry. Get yourself up early enough to have something already, or have your go-to meal. I'll call it go-to meal. What is your morning go-to meal? Something that is easy for you to make. Sometimes you can't make something fast, you got to shake. Or maybe it's like, protein oats. Or maybe it's like cream of rice and protein and oat, whatever, right? You have something that you have prepared that you can go for sure, but if you don't, you end up doing what he does. His next meal he's having.
Usually when I'm working, right, I'm up at like 6:30, eat throughout the day. By the time it's like 2, my day's already halfway done. I'm probably like 500 carbs deep.
Yeah.
And then 100 post.
So let's do the math. I should probably look at the English side, not the Spanish side. So 33 grams of carbs in one serving. That's 1 cup.
So Sam's first meal before he works out is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. 5 servings. Now, guys, I have eaten Cinnamon Toast Crunch or cereal before I train. That is something you can do. That is something you 100% can do in the off-season. Now, do I recommend you do it as a thing you do all the time? No, I don't. Little hacks I do. Sometimes in the off-season, I'll take, instead of having like milk, I have almond milk. And then I'll put my protein powder in it, shake that up and use that as the milk, and then pour it in my, in my cereal. Whether it's like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because I'll guilty as charged. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It might be in that. If I want to cut the calories and have it a little more cleaner, then it's like Rice Krispies, right? Just regular ass Rice Krispies, right? And that's something you can do in the off season. But again, you got to make sure that for the majority of things, most of these meals, you can have probably one of them a day. If you're doing something like a bulk of some sort, like I'm not saying you want a dirty bulk, but if you're going to be in a caloric surplus, you can have a little bit of freedom. There's nothing wrong with having a bowl of cereal. If it's every single meal, it's not good, because you're not getting that much nutritional value. Now he's having this as like a pre-workout meal. He's basically getting some simple sugars that can, fill his glycogen stores right up pretty fast to give him some quick fuel for his workout. But again, you also don't want to make that every single time you go to the gym. Now, this is like basically a morning thing. He eats this and then he goes into and he trains an hour and a half after, because he knows that if he does this, if he eats this meal and goes too early, he's going to crap himself.
5 servings of cereal before we train, Paul.
5 serves. I'm sorry, what's the macros on that? How many carbs is that?
33, it's 150.
Yeah, let's add it up. Always gonna have a food scale. I mean, you can. Most of these, they say to measure it out by the cup.
Yeah, you should be exact with that. Eh?
That's just such a hassle to me. Like, why would
You don't want to
I?
have 10 more grams than
You don't want to have too much cereal.
Well, why do I want to scoop it out if I could just pour it out and see the number right there in front of me?
And that's basically what I do as well too. And what he's got very good habits, right? At least he's measuring things he knows. So there's some really good habits he's doing here. Regardless of what he's eating, he is tracking what he's eating, right? He's basically kind of like an if it fits your macros type of thing. Or I would say if it fits your calories of some sort, right? So like, yeah, he's hungry at the gym. He's hungry in the morning. He hasn't eaten any food. Then he goes and grabs himself a liter of, chocolate milk. And your chocolate milk's going to have simple sugars. Obviously, it's just full of sugar. Your carbs are basically sugar. It's going to have fat because it's dairy. And then it's going to have some protein because it's a dairy product. And your dairy product's going to have protein. What do you think whey protein is? It's milk, basically, right? So he's tracking things, and those are good habits he's doing. Now, the meal choices he's picking, his first 2 meals he's had aren't like really anything nutritionally valued at all, in a sense, right? Now, there's question is like, can you eat this way? Like, there's studies that are done that it really doesn't make a difference. I don't want to really say it, but like physiological changes with foods, there really isn't much of a difference. I don't want to say that. The thing is, it's like, because people hear that and hear that only, they'll be like, oh, so you tell me that I can, if I ate some Rice Krispies and ate some rice, it's the same thing? So I'm going to have the same type of, look on my body? Virtually, yeah. But more so of like, it's the portions. A cup of rice is 220 calories, right? A cup of rice. You get a cup of rice like this. 220 calories. 220 calories of Cinnamon Toast Crunch is like is way less, right? So it becomes a portion thing, right? Yeah, you might not see the difference in like what your body's doing, but the portions are going to be different, and then overall performance, because we're putting in empty calories, it's not going to help you really perform that much, as you put in like a good amount of like good types of macronutrients, right? So again, what I would did was make it more anabolic. Take your protein powder, throw it in your milk, almond milk, save the calories even more. I usually do like cashew milk, 25 calories, or like almond milk, 25 or 30 calories for a cup, right? So 2 cups, you're looking at what? 50 calories for 2 cups of almond milk. Put some protein powder in there. I just moved 120 calories per scoop, right? 170 calories of protein in your almond milk, and you put it into your bowl of cereal, and you've made the anabolic, right? Not so bad. You've made it a little bit more nutritious.
Are you sure it's 160? You measured wrong. You used milliliters.
Well, it's the same thing.
Is it?
A milliliter of water is a gram.
So unfortunately, they're wrong. Milliliter and a gram are not the same. A gram is going to be like a weight. Is going to basically is a measure of weight, and milliliter is a measure of volume. So like you're not going to fill up a bowl with liquid like you would with something solid, because it's not going to spread out. So it's not going to be measured as accurate.
Any lifter worth their salt should know to go to the bathroom pre-legs. Right. Like I've come close once on a leg press.
Shit yourself.
I thought something was coming out.
And so there's another good point of what you decide to eat before you train. And that's a big thing when it comes to food choices. Yes, you might not have that much physiological changes from eating certain foods, but again, it's going to do something to your digestion. That's one of the biggest things is like gut health. If you're eating crap all the time, your stomach is not going to be in a great place. So when you're training, you're going to be thinking about your stomach, and you're almost like you got the runs or whatever it is, and it's going to impede your performance. So when you're picking foods to eat, and I gave that a little bit of tip if you're gonna use cereal before the gym. For me, I would much rather prefer something like cream of rice because it sits really easy in my stomach. It's not gonna give me the runs. Something for me like in the off season when I'm eating like say cereal before the gym, that's like more for me like it's like a treat here and there. It's not an everyday pre-workout thing. For me, my pre-workout meal is going to be something that is of substance. It's going to be something that's going to fuel me and something that's going to be rich in macronutrients. So like for me, like it might be like, rice. It could be, a pasta. If it's going to be cereal, it's going to be cream of rice. It might even be oats. I like a little fiber, keep me a little more full. But like if it's going to be like a cereal for me, but like either be cream of rice or oats, and it's going to have like almond butter in it, and it's going to have protein powder in it. And that's going to give me some, good substance. Or if I want to actually like eat a really good meal, it's going to be like, say, like a sweet potato or a sweet potato and like, ground beef, maybe a lean steak or chicken thigh with a little fat on it. And then like a little bit of greens, just so I'm not feeling too bloated when I go to the gym. And then I'm going to eat that around an hour before I go to the gym, right? Give myself time for things to digest. Understand that is the foods you pick might taste good, but it's how your body's gonna digest the food you eat. And you don't want to be thinking about food in your stomach and you having bubble guts the entire time you work out.
Across like maybe 5 or 6-ish. Because like, the post-workout shake, it's like 2 scoops of protein and then, 100 grams of the cluster dextrin. That's not really a meal.
Yeah.
That's 600 calories.
But right, which you can't discount either. But yeah, you're right, it's not really a meal.
I have to disagree. I have to 100% disagree. He's going to have 2 scoops of protein and then dextrose with it. That is a meal. Guys, understand that protein powder, I shout out the athlete next. He said this and it's so very true. Protein powder is not a supplement. Protein powder is a legitimate food. It's protein. It's just another form of protein. You wouldn't say chicken is a supplement. Protein is 100% a food. Iso Smooth is a food. Creatine is a supplement. Pre-workout is a supplement. Protein is food. So if you're gonna have 2 scoops of protein and then dextrose or whatever he's with some kind of maltodextrose or some kind of a carb he's having, that is a full meal. 600 calories is a full meal. You can't kind of be like, yeah, I have my post-workout shake and it was 600 calories. Put it this way. If he decides to do his cut, which he's gonna do a cut, he can literally just take out his protein shake, not change anything else, and he would lose over a pound of fat a week. 500 calories, 7 days a week, 3,500 calories is a pound of fat. So you have to count everything you put into your mouth if it's a calorie. Sorry.
Do you count that as one of your meals or no?
I mean, I guess I don't really count meals.
Okay. So you're just trying to get the calories in, whatever it is. Okay.
Like that's what I'm really tracking.
Are you in a bulk phase right now?
We're getting near the end of it.
Yeah.
So he's in a bulk. He doesn't necessarily have like amount of meals. And honestly, in the off season for me, I don't either. I have amount of calories I know I need to eat. And then they might, depending on my days, it might be 3 meals. It might be 4 or 5 meals. It's going to be different. But if you want to optimize anything really, you want to make sure that you're getting enough protein in over 3 to 5 meals. So if you're going to have 3 meals a day, make sure those 3 meals have protein in them. If you're going to have 5 meals a day, make sure those 5 meals have protein. When it comes down to it, it's all in the end, it is the amount of calories that you're taking in and making sure those calories are optimal. It's the macronutrients you choose or the ratio that's going to determine how optimal your caloric surplus or deficit is. So if you're eating X amount of calories and you're only eating just protein, it's not good. Or if you're just eating more carbs and less protein, not good. If you're not thinking about fats as being something that's important for you, that's not good. So you want to make sure that you're eating a good amount of fats, proteins, and carbs. Good choices within the entire amount of calories. Now, if 600 or 700 of those calories, as a bodybuilder like him, is like, fun meal, or I would say like not like necessarily, it's a cereal, it's fine. But if every meal is like that, your digestion is going to be crap. Put it this way, guys. Full disclosure. whenever I have my favorite meal, and it's like not meal, my favorite cheat. It's definitely a cheat. It's my me meal. It's half baked Ben and Jerry's and a full thing of Oreos. I put it in a bowl and I munch it up, and that's it. If I'm feeling really bad, I'll literally get some cookie dough from some like Pillsbury Doughboy cookie dough, and I'll cut that up and I'll toss it in too. And that is sorry. It's good. But I'll tell you right now, the next morning, my little TMI, my duty be looking literally looks just like what I ate. I swear it comes out looking like I'm like, yep, that looks like half-baked Oreos, definitely. And then it definitely feels like half-baked Oreos coming out too, because my stomach is like, I'm just like, because it ain't solid. It ain't one of these nice solid, these nice solid ones. You know what I mean? You understand like your poop should be the same size as your forearm. Like that's how much poop you should have, a good healthy poop. But literally, it ain't coming out a forearm. It's coming out like just anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep going with this.
How much weight did you gain this morning?
I was like I think the lightest I was around like Christmas time, it's like 229, 228. And then now like, 240. I would bounce around like 247, 249.
So he's put on 20 pounds.
So, solid change. I'll see how lean I get on on this cut. I'll probably only do it for like 2 months or so.
Yeah, just like a little mini cut.
Mm-hmm. That's usually how I end up doing it. Because like every time I diet or like diet down, the point isn't really to like get on a show. It's almost just like a break from the bulk.
Okay.
Kind of recalibrate, get rid of some excess body fat.
Okay.
And then put it on again.
Now, do I think that's a good way to do it? It all depends on like how he's dropping the calories. Now he's saying he's going from, he goes from a bulk and then goes right into, he doesn't like, taper down, he just boom, right down, cuts it right off, gets the fat off. And that makes sense because, to be honest, when it came down to it, me prepping for the Master Olympia right now, the difference of what I was eating was basically like cutting out crap. I cut out like crap. Like I would say 400 calories of crap a day was all I had to take out of my diet for me to make a big change. I had to taper things down and wind things down. I was like, how many calories am I eating? All right, cool. All right, time to diet. We got 16 weeks. Cool. Let's dice off this 400. Let's dice off 400 calories of crap, right? And then like the extra stuff here and there, the other extra meals I would have, like the Ben and Jerry's and stuff would be out, and I wouldn't make big changes. But then now I'm continuing to go right to stage him 3 weeks out. Now he's basically doing that and then kind of backing off a bit. And I think it's a very good idea for him, smart, to kind of get a break from a bulk. And again, he's doing this very intentionally. Now, if you look at him, again, the elephant in the room, sorry guys, but what makes this a lot more sustainable for him to do is the fact that he is using anabolics. I can tell you right now, my body in the off season when I was on anabolics, eating stuff like this didn't make much of a difference on my physique. Not much. Eating stuff like this now in the off season, trust me, I looked at some pictures from like 16 weeks ago and I was like, damn, like you're watery, you're holding more water from the extra amount of carbs and sugars and stuff like that. When you're on steroids, everything increases. Your metabolic rate increases. Your BMR increases. Your non-exercise activity thermogenesis increases. Everything's increasing. Everything burns more. So he can do this. Even he's got obviously great genetics to build muscle and he's got a good physique and he trains hard. But then being on anabolics is gonna aid a lot of the fat that's not going on his body. It's gonna help him burn fat because he's building muscle, and his big 5'11", 247-pound muscle bound 20-something-year-old is losing calories walking around carrying all that muscle. So he can do that.
The training is the same. It's just reckless with passion. It's not about being perfect. It's about instinct and feel, which I love. The only thing I would caution him with training is not
is not to change anything because anybody said so. Because if it's working and you're building muscle and you're growing, then who cares what anybody says, in my opinion. Results speak louder than anything else. The only reason there would be any caution in his training is I suffered a lot of injuries because of the way I trained, I think.
So I have to stop for there because I agree. I know exactly where it's coming from. We are from the same place. I get exactly what he's talking about. I agree with him on only a small part of that. Like I said, he has to make his own decision. The way he's training it is very, passionate and reckless. I get that. Oh, I understand exactly what he's talking about. Trust me, man. I'm like already back there right now. I'm there right now training that way. I get it. But the fact that he's saying the thing that you should be cautious about is training recklessly did lead to his injury. So my argument is this, Fuad. Wouldn't it make more sense for you to obviously take advice to change some of the things he's doing so he doesn't get injured? So he can avoid the things that Fuad's been through, or that I've been through, or that any bodybuilder has been through when they train with passion and reckless. So I get what Fuad's saying there, but I think that for even especially guys like myself who aren't out there just to like say, hey, Sam's doing this wrong. I'm not saying Sam's doing wrong or whatever. I'm saying this is what I would do if I was Sam. Being a 40-year-old, almost retired professional bodybuilder who is doing exactly what he's trying to do, I would say do these things to avoid this. The physique that you have, you're going to have just as good as one, probably even better for even longer. And if you fix up your diet a little bit, you're going to make it even better. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're going to change your whole entire life. Same as Sam. Do what you got to do, Sam. But here, just take a little piece of this advice, because that's what I did. That's my entire career was built around asking questions and learning from people. I wanted to know how to do this sport the right way. I want to know what was necessary. What needs to be done for me to be the best I can be? What do I need to do to reach there?
But it reminded me, I'm like, oh yeah, I used to wake up and the first thing on my mind was, what the fuck am I going to eat? So, yeah, it's very, very much, and that's this part of the thing that bothers me when people are commenting online and they're like, oh, he's doing this wrong and doing that wrong. A lot of the people that are commenting are veterans of the sport, or they've been around for a long time. But a lot of them forget what they were like when they started. And that's the shame, right? Because when me and Ian talk about Sam, or me and Mike talk about Sam, we laugh in a positive way.
And I think, I'm gonna answer this because I don't I always say if you see a post and you think it's you, if the shoe fits, tie the bitch up real tight, wear it. But for me, I'm just gonna answer because he's saying this in a general statement, and I'm pretty sure some other people have said things about Sam or whatever. I'm making the comment because I know exactly what he's saying. Trust me, man. I love the gym. I love training. I love it. But knowing where I'm at now, for me, what I want to do, and I've already talked to Fuad about, collaborating with Sam, and we're going to do something together. My thing is not to change Sam. It would never be to change Sam. It would be to give him the knowledge or piece of something that I've been able to take and that's been able to affect my life in a positive way in my bodybuilding career that would help him. That's all I've been doing, is just taking things from people and learning things, taking the best, applications or methods or whatever it is, and taking the things that made the most sense and resonated with me upon what I knew, and I applied it to my life, and I'm reaping the benefits of that. And I'm like, all right, cool, let me do it to me first, and then let me, apply it to my athletes, and then they're making, and I'm seeing the fruits of my labor, and then I'm seeing the fruits of their labor work, and I'm seeing, okay, cool. So this is actually working. This is making them better overall. They're not in pain when they're training. They have better range of motion. They're building muscle better. They feel better. And that's all I want for Sam. I want him to never. I don't want Sam to ever feel what I feel in my back. Ever. If he can avoid that, man, knock on wood, I've never torn a muscle. I tore ACL, groin, hamstring, shoulder. I've never tore a bicep or chest, or you know what I mean. My back is, I don't want him to go through that. So for me, it comes from a place of, dude, I want you to do this as long as you possibly can.
Yeah, and then you start. I don't know if it's because your body adapts or maybe you just get used to it.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely feel a difference when I'm eating shittier food with like lots of sodium and lots of fucking carbs, versus like cleaner food with like less sodium and less fucking yeah. I could feel a difference, right? I think that's why I keep eating shit.
Do you like it?
Because I like the swole feeling before training.
Yeah. That inflammatory response.
Yeah.
Just add to the pump.
Yeah.
So I'll give you some advice for that, guys. You don't have to and I get what they're saying. And the reason why they're feeling the way they're feeling is this. Break it down for you easily, guys. They, just like Fuad said, if you're eating like shitty stuff, like fast foods or whatever, they're full of sodium and they're full of sugar. And that's, what do you think happens with us? What do you think us bodybuilders do before we go on stage? Sugar and sodium. Literally, carbs, salt. That's how you get full. Oh, you want to feel full before the gym? Little sodium into your pre-workout or something. You know what's cool? PBK actually has pink lemon sea salt in it. It's going to help with your pump. It's great, yes, but you can also still eat healthy as well too. Healthy meaning like you can have whole foods. Like just put a little more salt on your sweet potato or your rice, right? That's completely fine. A lot of times when you're at the gym anyway, you're sweating a lot and you need to replenish that salt. Nothing wrong with that. But you definitely can get the same type of pump from cereal as you can with rice or even popcorn. Right? Remember, again, it's not going to make that much of a difference physiologically from like food to food to food. All right, so he has a post-workout shake, and now they're getting some food.
Cheeseburger with mustard, lettuce, ketchup, and actually that'll be it. Mustard, lettuce, ketchup, and a medium fry and a large drink.
Guys, let me tell you right now, when I do Five Guys, I get double what he gets. But again, when I eat Five Guys, it's a very odd thing. Not odd thing, I'm going to be honest. Not odd, not it's like once in a while. I would say in the off season, I'll have Five Guys in that very delicious, that very delicious ice cream treat I told you about, have baked in Oreos. I'll have that, I would say 4 to 6 times a month. This whole thing's about balance. It's making sure that you're balancing things. It's fine to have that, especially if you're in a lean bulk, but it's not to have all of the time. That's like once a week having that, maybe once or every, once in a bit having it. And that's fine. It's completely fine. As long as you're making sure the rest of your day is optimal. Because if you pile on crap and pile on crap and pile on crap, it's not going to help you out in the long run. You're just going to feel shitty. Your body's going to get used to wanting eating shitty food. And that's it. Period. And there's where you have it, guys. Remember, we have a responsibility on this platform that people are following what we do, whether we are teaching it or not. If they like you, they're probably going to do what you're doing. Now, when it comes to kids, like, you could see that people are following Sam, they're younger kids. And you know what? To be honest, when it comes to growing, kids just eat. Don't count calories. Eat your food. Don't. If you're a teenager and 18 and lower, eat food. Go to the gym. Go run around. Be active. Eat food. Do not count your calories, please. Don't. You don't need to. If you're a growing kid, let your body tell you when you're supposed to eat. That's completely fine. You want to learn about calorie stuff, you go right ahead. Go learn about calories. Do that stuff. It's fine. You want to be educated in that way, go get educated in that way, but do not make it part of your center focus of your health right now. It is not important in terms of what you're going to achieve, okay? So just eat and grow. But when it comes to Sam, and if this kid's watching what Sam's eating in a full day, no. Because, I'm going to be honest, Sam has not eaten anything of substance the entire day. Except for the Five Guys burger, and that's a delicious ass burger. Now again, this is like something he's doing. I don't know if it's what he does all the time, what he eats, but I would 100% change this. You do want to be healthy on the inside. Understand that each macronutrient is going to give you what it needs in terms of the vitamins your body needs or the essential calories. Your body needs to be able to do exactly what it needs to do at the best it can. Your hormones, your brain, your performance, your gut health. If we're not careful and making sure we're eating a good amount of carbs, proteins, and fat, healthy sources, you're not going to give your body the nutrients it needs to be able to perform at its best. So this entire day, and then we're going to skip to the end. Where the end, he goes home, and now we have We have Krispy Kreme donuts, which are absolutely delicious. Like, dieting here. And we have milk. Again, what he does is what he does. He's going to have to learn to, I would say, make sure most of the foods he's eating are nutritious, nutrient-dense foods. What he's eaten this entire day has been absolute crap. It has. It's not good. This is like maybe, you know, if you had Five Guys today, that was your one little meal you had, that's fine. If you decide your pre-workout meal is going to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch and maybe you put some protein powder in it instead of just milk, that's fine. Maybe you decide you're going to have, you know, Krispy Kreme donuts as a dessert after your meal, that's fine. But an entire day like this, over and over and over and over again, you might get results, but I can tell you right now, your gut health will not be good. You're not going to get the right amount of nutrients for your body to run as optimally as it should. And you might perform well, but I can promise you're not going to be performing at the best that you can. So when it comes down to it, should you follow what Sam is doing? No, you shouldn't, because he's Sam. You just don't do what Sam does. Take some advice I'm giving you with things you can do what Sam's doing. Like, one of the big takeaways from this is he's counting what he's doing. He actually knows what he's eating. So regardless if he eats 2,800 calories, 4,000 calories, 10,000, he knows how much he's eating. And you can tell by what he's doing and the cardio he's doing. He's doing 30 minutes a day of cardio every single day. Take those things from Sam. Here are the good things. Here are the good takeaway things from Sam. Make sure you know. You have to. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Bulking, cutting, gaining, maintaining, main-splaining. I don't care what it is. Make sure you know how much you're eating. Do cardio every single day. 30 minutes a day. Maybe 5 days a week. 5 days a week, 30 minutes, whatever. But he's taking the advice from this. Here's some good advice. Do the cardio. It's going to help keep fat levels down, keep your cardiovascular health up, and you're good. Be intentional. He has a plan. He has a strategy. He knows what he's doing. Regardless of what he's eating or not, he knows exactly what he's doing. He has passion for what he's doing. He's consistent. He's working hard. Those are the things you take from Sam. That's how you break this thing down. You take those things from Sam. How he's eating in the completely day? No. Take those good things. Knowing how much you're eating, doing your cardio, having a strategy and a plan, being consistent, and doing it with passion. Those are 5 great takeaways from Sam. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video and the breakdown. If you want me to do more videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you guys binge watch my videos. And you guys know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep gym chasing. Peace.